Eric, we're starting off with your beginning swings here. You can see you don't get the hands back there. You take the knob up towards above the ball, and then that ends up making your swing loopy. Pretty similar even on your good hits as well as your ground balls. See, you hit a ground ball there because you come up over the top of it. We talked about the knob. You don't get the hands pulled back here, and then the knob right here goes above the ball, and then that makes the bat head drop, and then you pull up over top of it. You are snapping the wrist there, or rolling the wrist I should say, but then that makes your bat just, you know, come up even higher. Here's a ball here that you actually hit pretty decent. I mean, it's a top, well no, this is the pop-up that you said you have pretty often. And here's a closer look. Look at, there's the knob coming up, and then at contact, and then here's the key move. Boom, your bat head goes up and continues up. Like I said, if you had that pane of glass, you know, a neck high, you'd break it. Here we're just going over the connection drill. So checking your grip, making sure those knuckles are lined up, and then checking the knob, making sure that's pointing out at me. You know, we don't want that knob to be kind of where you had it, where the bat was over to the left as we're looking at the screen here. So that's a great starting position right there. I love that. And then here's the connection drill. You do want that left leg to be straight. I'm not being real picky with you on that during the session here, because I'm really trying to get you right now, as you take your stride, those hands just stay back. You know, you don't have to pull them back so they're uncomfortable. You can't, I'm just showing you there where you can't really wind them way back behind you and keep your eye on the ball. We're just trying to keep the hands in the same position as where we started. So right here, great starting position. And then as you stride, pull the hands back. Like I said, that left leg should be straight, but I'm not getting picky on that. Here's the stab. That's the angle that we're mentally working at. Remember, we're overtraining on this. We don't actually want you, that's what you're doing wrong. You're swinging up like that. We want you mentally thinking right down.
We're doing the stab drill on the swing simulator here. So take your, get in the stance, connection. And now just, you know, open the hips up a little bit so that you're set up for the drill. Now just turn and stab.
Boom. Once again, here we are mentally training ourselves to swing down. We don't actually want to swing down, but to get you from looping up, you have to think like you're swinging down, or think like you're swinging on this angle, just to get yourself level to slightly up, which is the result we want. Now you're doing the snap drill. So we're not just doing the stab, we're actually not separating the stab out from the snap. You're doing the snap all together right there. Here's what I want you to do at home. Set up the rope like this that you have, and then just take cuts right along the rope, and make sure you're not swinging below the rope, you're above it right here. You're snapping, boom. The wrist snap keeps the bat head above the rope and from dropping down below it. That's just great looking right there. And then you let go with the top hand, which is what you do naturally. We'll talk about that later in the video here. So here's some of your early tee work. Connection is much better. Look at your hands are back. As the front foot's landing, your hands are back, you're ready to strike an object. Right here though, you pull up on that. Remember, we're not going for good results off the tee necessarily. We're not trying to hit the ball up in the air, we're trying to drive down through that ball, and we want to hit those either, you know, balls right at the pitcher's feet or the shortstop's feet, or we want to hit those, hit the bottom part of the ball. There you go, that was a great one right there. You go right through it on a straight line, and you hit the middle of the ball, so you hit it down, and then if you do catch the bottom part of the ball, you'll hit those rising line drives. You kind of finish down there a little bit. Don't get discouraged by how it looks here, because when we're hitting off the tee, like I said, we're training to swing down still mentally. This is not how you're going to swing on live hitting. Right here, good connection, connected position, snapping the wrist, boom, there you caught the bottom part of the ball, and you can see you got to get aggressive. You actually hit part of the tee as well to get the bottom part. That was a rising line drive, you know, only probably got 15 feet above the ground, but one of those, you know, cool looking rising line drives. That's what we want to hit over and over on the tee, because it translates right to live.
Nice.
That was nice. I mean, you can just see, if you can see a straight line blur of your bat head coming through there, that's just exactly what we're going for. So this is, after we worked on those drills and that, this is the next progression on. We went to the tee. All right, Erik, here we are working with the axe handle drill, which I think really was a breakthrough part of the lesson. You weren't getting the snap quick enough, and I kept saying, snap quicker. Well, now all of a sudden, when we switched over to the axe handle, you were thinking of the axe actually cutting into the ball or into a tree, and watch how that gets the, boom, right there, it gets the bat head out in front of the hands quicker. And that really improved moving forward off the tee and live. Here we go again. Great connection position. Your hands are back. Here's the stab and snap together. Boom, the bat head gets out in front of the hands. You're out at full extension, and there you caught the bottom half of the ball, and it was a great underspin, line drive type ball flight. That was just awesome. I mean, you got the bat head out in front, and that was the big thing that we were missing. Your angle was good, but you weren't getting the snap with it. Now we go into live. Connection position, much better. Look at the hands come back. Right here, remember your hands were forward. Here's the knob coming forward. Boom, point of contact and finish down. I mean, that's slightly up from level, but you're finishing down through the ball. You're cutting the ball, and you absolutely launched this ball. It was just a great. Here's the knob coming forward, point of contact. Remember before your bat head was way up above your head. Now it's going straight through on a straight line. Nice. That ball would have been way out of here if it wasn't 25-mile-per-hour winds in your face. Totally different looking swing. Once again here, stride coming forward, which is great. Your hands do come back. That can always be better, but just so much better than you had before. And then here comes, remember, we weren't thinking about stab. You were just thinking about snap from the beginning. Boom. And then look how the bat, after contact, it actually kind of goes down a tiny bit. That's great. And instead of coming up through, here's a shot of that same ball there. That's just a great looking swing. Here's a little bit lower pitch. You can tell, instead of trying to lift up on it, look how you go down and attack it. Remember what your mental thought here was. This is your practice swing. Remember what your mental thought here is. You're actually thinking about swinging at, a 45-degree angle down. There's pulling the hands back. This is your mental thought here. Look at that. I mean, that's what you're thinking mentally. Sometimes that's what we're training for. And then look at your swings on video. They're up, they're definitely up from level. You're not swinging level to down, because that would not be good. You're actually swinging slightly up from level. So watch this here. You're thinking about swinging down, and then here comes the pitch. It's a little bit shorter. Look at your hands come down, but look at the bat head. The bat head actually comes up through the ball. It's just a mental thing that, like I said, you had to trust that you were training yourself correctly on all those drills. Here's another shot at the end here. Getting a little bit lazy with the knob there. You can see it's kind of pointing down. Those will be the habits you have to be picky about. But you get the hands back, and then you recover nicely here. Look at the knob coming towards the ball, and then boom, you're out to full extension. With the snap, and then you finish. Now what I don't like is that you don't finish naturally with that top hand releasing and the bat head coming around with just your left hand. That's something I didn't want to discuss necessarily because it's not really technical, but it's something that I think you did naturally, and I really would like to see you do that release with the top hand, like right here. Just another great look at this ball. Boom, look at that. And then you caught the bottom part of the ball, the trajectory. I mean, that's a ball that would be way out of here. If you could release with that top hand right there, you'd get a much more natural looking finish, and it would help your kind of rotation finish there. Once again, just thanks for coming out, and it was great working with you on the session, Erik. Massive improvements, and one last look at this bomb here is just a great looking swing, and so much different than the first 5 swings you took.